Eye, Kansas City. This is a special report entitled Justice for Trayvon Martin. This show goes into detail of the updates, what has took place over the 44 days that it took to get Zimmerman in jail, get him charged of second-degree murder, and we'll give you the details and updates as they do come in here on later editions of Eye to Eye, Kansas City. But today, as you just seen, there was a rally on the Country Club Plaza in Kansas City, Missouri, that many of residents, plenty of residences of Kansas City had shown support and came to protest that Trayvon's murder was wrong, it was not right, and something needs to be done about it. But another rally of small size took place, and this was at the Berkeley Park. So here's my report on that, and we'll be right back on Eye to Eye, Kansas City. In Kansas City, Missouri, at the Brush Creek Park, members of clergy come to commemorate Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy and talk about the death of Trayvon Martin, an unarmed teen that was shot by George Zimmerman, a neighborhood watch person in that neighborhood where Trayvon resided. As well, members of clergy talk to the public about coming together about crime, violence.
Every time we turn the television on, somebody has just got killed, just got shot. Yeah. Somebody has been hijacked. But it's time for us to do something about it. We are out here that we can come together, because I believe together we stand, and provided we will fall. But we can always do things better together. Right. So we're blending our forces together. Yeah. And we asking all of our clergymen, to come and join in with us. Yeah. Because we can't fight this battle by ourselves. Right. But we need your help and we need your support. And we know that you can help us. You can help us. We are in our beautiful churches and our air-conditioned churches, and we are going along just like ain't nothing happening. But we want to let you know there is something happening on the outside. When we leave on Sunday, we turn the news on at 10 o'clock. Somebody has just got shot. Somebody has just got murdered. So we are tired of it. We are tired of it. So we want to try to make a difference. We want to make a difference by coming together. But we want to let you know we need your help. We need your support. Yeah. We need you to come in and join in with us. Yeah. We need your help. Don't stand off to the side and feel like there ain't nothing happening. Yeah. Praise the Lord. You know what is happening. Yeah. And one thing that we can realize is it's knocking on somebody else's door, but you don't know when it's going to knock on your door. Right. You don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going on. Yeah. But we want to come together and try to fight this battle together. This is a battle for the Lord. It's not a battle of ours. Yeah. But if we bend ourselves in prayer and support, we feel like that we can get something done. That's right. God bless you and God keep you is our prayer. Bless you. God bless you. We here because of God. We here because we need to fight and we need to stand together. Yes. Amen. Amen. Because if we do not stand together, if we divide it, we got to be able to stand so we can fight together. Ain't I right about it? Yeah. Amen. Because if we don't, we need to come and get our young folks and tell them about God. All the young folks need to be here today because there's too many of us fighting on these corners. But we need to go on the corners today. We need preachers. We need to come together. We talk about what we're going to do. But we need to go on these corners and get these young folks by the hand and take them to the house of the Lord. Ain't no right about it. We need to stand because let me tell you, if you don't go and stand, and I'm going to say this. We have shut down on God. We scared to speak. But I'm telling you, parents, do not be scared. Get your children. Yes. Get them. Yes. When I come up, my parents and my father, they beat our butt. It's the problem now because we can't whoop our children. That's why we going through. If we don't whoop them, the police going to beat them. Oh yes, oh yeah. We need to come together. Oh yeah. Preachers, we need to come together. Come together. Family, we need to come together. Let's come together. Get get on these corners. Yeah. We was going by just the other day. We saw police grabbing people, beating them on 35th and Prospect. But let me tell you that we need to stand. You know why? We stay in the church too much.
All right.
We need to get out of the church.
Yeah.
We need to come out of the building. And we need to come on the street. We need to march down 39th and Prospect.
Oh yeah.
We need to march down 39th and what's that over there? Juice. We need to go to 35th and Prospect.
Yes, sir.
27.
Yes, sir.
We need to get out there and tell the people that they are dying. Your folks, you're dying. But I can tell you that God died for you.
Oh yeah.
All you got to do is put your guns down. Put your dope down.
Put it down.
And come to Jesus Christ.
As Olathe, Kansas churchgoer Deborah Tippeter shares with me her strong feelings about the Trayvon murder case.
The man said that it was a struggle, but you know, like Trayvon's mother said, it wasn't no struggle. And you know, I just don't feel like that was right, the way he just died innocent. You know, he said that there was a scoffer. He said that was, you know, word slave, but you know, I don't believe that.
Come over here and make Cassidy talk for the man.
How do you feel about celebrating Martin Luther King's assassination and having that on top of Trayvon's killing?
I have no problem with that. You know, to me, hey, it's all good.
And how do you feel about about what's going on, about the Department of Justice coming in and stepping in and trying to solve the case of Trayvon?
Well, they haven't solved it yet, and the man is still free. You know, if they, you know, find him guilty, you know, praise the Lord. But you know, it's like you can tell, you know, all of that. They say he's already done. I kind of believe that he did do it.
All right, thank you. Okay.
And Elder Jesse Fisher feels that Trayvon Martin is not getting any justice.
Not getting justice. I don't feel like he's getting justice. That's the way I feel about it. I feel that if it had been anybody else, they would have got right on it. But they kind of seem like that everything is kind of, he didn't do it, whatever, but when you're wrong, you're wrong. And if you're wrong, you should get justice for doing what you've done.
All right. How can now celebrating? Well, not necessarily celebrating, but remembering Dr. Martin Luther King's assassination. How do you feel about that and Trayvon Martin's death?
Well, Dr. King died and he fought for justice and he fought for equal rights. So I feel like this should prevail. It shouldn't be something swept under the rug. We don't want his dying to be in vain, because what he stood up for and what he spoke the truth. He stood on the truth. He stood for justice. He stood for freedom. He stood for what is right. He stood for equal rights. And this is what we need. We need this very bad.
As a society, we all have to come together to solve problems of violence, murders, crime, and everything are surrounded by those topics. And in the topic of the Trayvon murder case, we have to come together to make sure our voices is heard as people. That we have to understand one struggle, that we have to get justice for this young man. And we have to honor Dr. Martin Luther King by just doing that. Reporting in Kansas City, Missouri at the Brush Creek Park, I'm Galvin Berkeley, Eye to Eye, Kansas City. Gentlemen, welcome back to Eye to Eye, Kansas City. Now, here's my commentary on all that has took place so far in this case. First of all, for this to take 44 days with this man running free, not being in jail, not being charged with a crime, not being in court, and going through the judicial system as if this situation was switched to be Trayvon Martin in Zimmerman's shoes, it would not even have to take 10 days. Let's make that frank, and let's make it clear that if Trayvon was the person that had the gun and was shooting, police will be all over him within a heartbeat, and we all know that. So I'm not going to waste time. But listening to some of these clergymen at that rally, I didn't get a chance to go to the one on the plaza, which I heard that one was a lot larger in size, of course, obviously. But these clergymen gave examples of how we should overcome, how we should move past. But as well, we as people have to not just keep Trayvon and Martin in mind. We have to keep other young folks that have passed away in the similar situations that Trayvon was in. And we have to remember, and I can tell you one particular case where a young boy, and this happened here in Kansas City, that a young boy was walking home from the library, I believe, and was shot at. Now, some could say that he was in the wrong time, in the wrong place, and some other people can say that he just was at the wrong area. But I don't quite believe in those two things, because you know what? This boy was on his way to go to college, and this boy's future he never got to finish his future as we know it. So in Trayvon's case, Zimmerman knew he was wrong. I don't know why the justice system don't see that, but I can tell you this: if Zimmerman isn't charged with the crime and he isn't thrown in jail, or if the judge lets him, or if this judge rules wrong, somebody's gonna find Zimmerman. He's not gonna be in a safe house forever. And as the current details, that's where he's at. That's where he's headed. He has paid bail. George Zimmerman's I guess he had obtained some money on his website to where people could support him. And I wish I would support somebody like that, by the way. Just want to throw that in there. I wish I would give somebody some money that has killed an innocent boy that was just walking down the street, minding his own business with a cell phone, a can of iced tea, and a bag of Skittles. Now, those three items are harmless. So I don't understand why is it that Zimmerman is allowed to use self-defense, because that clearly wasn't self-defense. He even apologized to the Martin family gave an apology of what he did. And I'm going to say this much: that apology wasn't sincere. To me, it wasn't. That apology to me was just a waste of time. That apology was that him trying to, I guess, try to get out of doing things, I guess. But if to me, the Martins have handled it the best way that they can, and it's time for justice to step in. So what we all need to do is that we all need to pray for this family. Keep this family lifted up in prayer. And I'm gonna say it like this, and just sum it up for you. This entire case is wrong. It's based on wrong is wrong and right is right. Not wrong equals right and right equals wrong here. Wrong, most children are taught at an earlier age, wrong is wrong and right is right. And let me tell you, that first of all, Zimmerman was wrong for trying to pursue Trayvon Martin, and secondly, the police in Sanford, Florida, was wrong for letting that go, because later on, and we'll talk about this on a later edition of Eye to Eye, there was a woman that was using self-defense, and the stand your ground law isn't being fair in her case, which we're getting more information as we're speaking to you today on this issue, which we have more on that coming up on Stand Your Law. But Stand Your Law to me, in terms of Zimmerman, in terms of the Trayvon murder case, is that it shouldn't be used. It shouldn't even be brought up in any circumstance in this trial. If it does, for some odd reason, there's something wrong with the justice system, and therefore this is why you have people running on the streets taking justice in their own hands, because people have gotten tired to believe a system that doesn't work, that isn't fair, that isn't balanced. And if you think they're not, you keep on doing the things that you keep on doing in this case, letting Zimmerman slide away, because that's all I see every time I flip on the TV is Zimmerman doing this. He gets, but coming up on the updates, we'll let you know the current situation of where everything, where Zimmerman stands, and so forth. But going back to my commentary on Trayvon's murder, this boy doesn't get to have a future. This boy had his future taken away from him for no apparent good enough reason. There is no good reason why Trayvon had to die. Some people might disagree that Trayvon was a criminal and this and that, and that's where some of the rumors, I say rumors because we don't know. It ain't our business to know every single thing about Trayvon. Even if it is true, it's not our business. And it sure doesn't stack up to why Trayvon had to die, had to be shot. I said some people say that because they are hating. They are full of hate against some black folks. When I say some black folks, I mean that moderately. So you know what I'm thinking, don't you? In my head. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to try to turn over a new leaf here on that. But I feel in this case is that people have a right to have their own views. But when it comes to your let me put it in this perspective. When it comes to your child getting shot, and you know your child wasn't up to nothing but on their way, minding their own business. They wasn't into illegal activity. They wasn't gang banging as of Trayvon was doing. He wasn't gang banging. He wasn't doing none of that stuff. He was on his way walking home. And when you're on your way walking home, that's your mission. And that was Trayvon's mission. And somehow that mission of him getting home just didn't happen. But he is home up above us. That's the home that he's at now. And rest assured, if Zimmerman doesn't get it now, and I've said this on YouTube.com, on my Facebook page, rest assured that if Zimmerman don't get it now, he will get it at some point in time. So trust me on that. He will have to account for it at some point in time in his life. Either at the beginning, which we already passed the beginning, or he'll have to do it at the end. But I'm going to say this, being the person that I am. God knows what's going to happen. God knows the outcome. Some of us know this kind of principle. God knows what's going to happen, and God's going to come on time, on his time in this case. So all we do, like I said, we have to keep the family, the Martin family, and Trayvon's parents lifted up in prayer, because this case says a lot to just young folks. It says a lot to our young black male and females out in the United States. That you can, and another thing that I like to add, Trayvon was singled out because he was wearing a hoodie. And, you know, with him wearing a hoodie, it says a lot that you can't wear anything and be singled out. You can't wear a hoodie and walk down the street and mind your own business in this country now. That's what that has said to me. And all the politicians that have made the recent moves to go on the floor and wear their hoodie said a big bold statement, and it showed that everyone that has worn a hoodie and has worn a hoodie in support of Trayvon getting justice in this case. Can you take that one? Oh, there you go. Thank you. It says a lot to me in terms of how people are responding in this case. And I'm not going to say that there's some people that have been negative, and there have been some people that have been supportive and have said wrong is wrong, no matter what color your skin is, no matter what color your skin color you are. Wrong is wrong no matter how you look at it. And this is how I look at it in this case. Trayvon wasn't doing anything but walking down the street, and I'm going to say that to the day I die. He was coming back from the convenience store. And as you heard that story, as you hear the story many times through many outlets, you hear that George Zimmerman was the aggressor. He was the one that brought force. So the one that is bringing force, the one that has brought violence, should be punished. And that's how I feel. Wrong is wrong. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you see it. George Zimmerman was wrong for shooting Trayvon. And even if Trayvon was to throw some punches, I think Trayvon was right, because I do believe George Zimmerman was evil. And as you can hear on that police tape, we don't have that police tape here on the program, and we are going to apologize on it. But it's just something wrong with that sound bite that we do have of that video audio recording, and we can't get it to dub right to where it will work with our video editing software. So we do want to apologize on that inconvenience. But going on in my commentary, wrapping it up, because I am running out of time, you have to understand this family's frustration. You have to understand this family's plea for justice, plea for equality, plea for integrity. And I'm going to say this to the family of Trayvon Martin, to the parents of Trayvon Martin, rather. You guys have been strong. You all have held your head up high, and continue to do so as you are dealing with tough days ahead. And as you have had those tough days going on in your life. And I want to say personally that you have my support in pursuing whatever it is that you need to get justice for your son. Because that the death of your son wasn't right, and people know that, and people are standing up and saying wrong is wrong in many different nationalities. But you know as well as I know that there are some people out there that are just wishy-washy about it. And there are some people that just will not support you guys. But I know there's some people that are praying for you now. And you are in our prayers, and we wish you the best luck here on our God. So we're going to go ahead and go to a CBS report on this whole ordeal, on a wrap-up recap of what has took place. And we're going to come back and...
Sabrina Fulton has waited nearly a month for what she calls justice, an arrest for the killing of her son, Trayvon Martin.
To me, it was no question. There was definitely a murder. He was murdered.
Shot in cold blood?
Shot in cold blood.
28-year-old George Zimmerman says he shot Martin in self-defense February 26th. He remains free. Zimmerman, an armed neighborhood watch leader, saw Martin walking inside a gated subdivision near Orlando. He thought the 17-year-old looked suspicious and called police.
He's got his hand in his waistband. And he's a black male.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
But Zimmerman chased Martin. Neighbors heard a fight and began dialing 911 to report screams and then a gunshot.
So you think he's yelling help?
Yes.
All right, what is your phone number?
Did you recognize the voice on that tape?
That's my baby. That's my son that was yelling.
And when you heard the gunshot, that must have been wrenching.
It left a hole in my heart. An explosion came in my heart when I heard the gunshot.
Zimmerman had a permit to carry a concealed weapon, a 9mm handgun. Trayvon Martin was unarmed. He carried a cell phone, a can of iced tea, and a bag of candy he had just bought at a 7-Eleven. 2 weeks ago, we asked Sanford Police Chief Bill Lee why Zimmerman was not in jail.
Mr. Zimmerman felt that he, in self-defense, needed to fire his weapon.
A 2005 Florida law, known as Stand Your Ground, allows deadly force when someone feels reasonably threatened. But Sabrina Fulton says the real issue here is race.
If he had pulled the trigger and he was a African-American male and he shot a Caucasian man, a white man, yes, he would be in jail.
Martin's family wants the FBI to take over this as a civil rights case. Local prosecutors are reviewing, and Zimmerman has given no interviews except to Sanford Police. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Miami.
Kansas City. All right, here's the updates as of right now. George Zimmerman is charged as of right now with second-degree murder. Now, he is going to, of course, obviously, plead not guilty. As of recently, he, as I told you at the top of the show, that he apologized for what he has done to Trayvon's parents. He didn't realize that he was that young, and as I said, that wasn't a good apology to me. It needs to be heartfelt. It needs to be sincere. And that's all I'm going to say, because I can say a lot of things, but I'm not going to get myself in trouble, like I said. So moving straight past that, as I said, the special prosecutor had charged George Zimmerman with second-degree murder. Now, the judge that was first in this case dropped out of the case because she was related. She had some kind of relationship with Zimmerman's attorney, and it is unclear right now the relationship. It is clear, but we don't have those details as of right now. But we will have those updates with to you as soon as we can get them here on Kansas City. But Zimmerman has been able to post bail, and I think it is at $200. It was originally set at $200,000, but now I think they dropped it to $150,000, I do believe. And there's a recent argument based on where did Zimmerman get the money? Because as most people do know at this time, that Zimmerman has a website that he can get donations in his Justice Relief Fund. So there's a question of should he have that money? And that's the argument that the Martin family's attorney raises that question, and we don't know the outcome of that, which I'll probably know by tomorrow after this show is done taping and everything like that. But Zimmerman has some restrictions that he has to go by. He is wearing a GPS ankle bracelet. He can't be out. He has certain times to be out and about. His passport is confiscated, so he can't flee the country. He has to report to authorities on a basis of when they tell him to report to wherever it is that he needs to report to. And there's more that's in store in this case. Trust me, and we got more things in this case to come ahead. But what I want to, as I said, we have to keep kids like Trayvon Martin closest to us. And this entire situation is what making black mothers take account of their kids. They are very scared for their kids. They have to look at their kids, and they have to be overprotective of their kids because they don't know what's going to happen to their kids now. And because of this situation, it really, really dampers. It really, I don't know how to put this, but I'm just going to take a stab at it and just say this. It really puts a different perspective to black mothers and how they have to raise their kids. You know, there's a lot of things that I was taught to do. You know, have your receipt out at the store. Pull your receipt and make sure you have your receipt out. Don't do this. Don't do that. It's a whole bunch of things that you do have to do in order to shop somewhat peacefully or have some kind of peace and not create some confrontation. So, but however, in this case, you know, Trayvon was wearing a hoodie, and of course, now as the updates that, you know, on the updates that I have given you, those are most recent that I do have on file right now. And then my producer wanted me to throw that out there to you guys because we're this store, we have some connections straight out of Sanford, Florida that is giving us a little bit more, but we're trying to get the pieces of the puzzle connected up, and as soon as we do, we will be sure to let you know right here on Eye to Eye, so you can keep it right here on Eye to Eye. And this wraps up our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. You can get the latest information on your tablet or on your cellular device on youtube.com/GABerkley16. Or you can visit my website, which is galvinbkc.webstarts.com. And that wraps up our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, and we'll leave you with an image from the rally with people singing "We Shall Overcome."